So Chuck Steele, tell us more about it.
Well, Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires, is a stop-motion horror comedy. It's taken about 3 years to make because it's all hand animated. It's about a maverick cop on the edge in LA who has to go up against an army of vampires who only attack drunk people because they've got alcohol in their blood.
Okay.
So that's why they're called Trampires, because they're a bit drunk.
You're a bit trampy.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind the story?
Well, it was kind of two ideas joined up. I was writing the Trampires idea as a live action B-movie type low budget film, and I was also trying to keep this character of Chuck Steele alive, which I came up with when I was about 15 years old. So I was always trying to get a project off the ground with that character, and then I just joined the two ideas up at some point. I can't remember why, but it just seemed to work then. So.
Stop motion, that's a massive commitment. What made that the right medium to tell your story?
I've always liked live action films more than animation, which is weird because I work in the animation industry. But I've been an animator and an animation director for like 25 years, so I know that world more than I know the live action world. And I was trying to get this going for years, and sometimes almost getting there, and then the door would close again, and I'd have to put it on the shelf again. So I started looking at trying to do live action, thinking it would be easier, and almost raised funding for a feature film there, and then that fell through. And I was just frustrated that I wasn't getting anywhere with making a feature film. So I went back to what I knew, which was making animated films on my own. So I started the short film on my own in my basement, and then found funding after I'd started it, and then once we've completed the short, the funders went straight into doing a feature.
And the beautiful thing about stop motion is the sort of tactileness and the craftsmanship that goes into making this, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I think there's something about stop motion that people can forgive it a lot of stuff. If they look slightly handmade here and there, it's fine because part of the charm. So
charm.
Yeah. But we wanted to make this film feel pretty slick in terms of its pace and its action, and not feel like dolls on a tabletop. It needed to be cinematic, but it was okay if you saw the odd like sculpting mark or anything like that.
And we're here at Frightfest premiering it. What does it feel like to have your film here at the heart of horror, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great to be at Frightfest again, especially because 5 years ago with the short film and the reaction that had, coming back with the feature film just feels like the right place to be, to show people. So I just hope it's gone down as well as the short went down. So I'll find out in the next few days, I suppose.
Tell us more about the movie.
Well, we've spent like last 3.5, 4 years making the film. We set up in 2014. In an empty warehouse, and we kicked off, and you've seen the results today. We've had sort of 300 people through the doors. We built sort of 425 puppets, 100 plus sets. Everything was done in-house. We're in an independent studio, taking on all the big boys.
Fantastic. Well, I was wondering whether it was computer animated but it was stop motion, was it?
100% stop motion. The main cast is all handcrafted, where the mouth and the facial features are all hand sculpted, and the back cast have silicon faces. So most of the film is 100% stop motion. Yeah, it's all practical. Everything was built in-house by us.
I mean, what an absolute benefit of just being able to be so hands-on and tactile with the puppets must make such a difference.
Well, the key thing for us is the quality. Mike's got a certain skill set, and he had a certain vision for the film, and we stuck to our guns on it, and it shows on the screen. We didn't want to cut any corners. We wanted to make a film that's true to the art of stop motion, and we've done that.
And tell us the story. Tell us more about Trampires and why we should beware of them.
Well, the Trampires only attack people that have had too much booze. So most of the people around here today will probably be targets for the Trampires. But on the whole, it's just a fun film. It's got an angle of alcohol in it, and it's got an angle of vampires stroke Trampires, and it's a lot of fun.
And was it difficult to get a British film funded and to make this, or is it?
Luckily, we've had the luxury of being completely independently funded. We haven't got a huge company behind us, etc. But it is difficult, even for we're a small company. It's myself, Mike, and one other. We're three people heading up a big studio, a small studio, spending $20 million on a film. So it's a big risk for us, but we believe in what we've done.
And so to Frightfest, so you're here premiering your film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
excited about that.
Yeah, definitely excited about Frightfest. Mike's had a long history with Frightfest, with his older films and Raging Bulls about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was the right place for us. And plus, it's in our home, particularly in my hometown, being London. So we're really happy to have it here.